A very good morning, students. Welcome back to online session on programming for problem solving course. In our previous session, we started the strings concept. So we defined the string and we discussed the types of strings. So quickly I will go there. So strings, we said a string is nothing but it is a sequence of characters. And when we are defining this string, you have to be sure that how the definition, we are giving to it. So we are saying a string is nothing but it is a collection or nothing that is nothing but sequence of characters. If you put all characters, more than one character together, we are calling it as a string. So why the name string I have given? In the uh, printing press days, in order to print a word, the people used to put all characters which are engraved in iron. So they used to put all characters together and they are going to wrap it with the help of a string, okay? Iron string. So because of that reason, we are calling it as a string. Whenever you are keeping all characters together in your programming language, we are calling it as a string. So a string is nothing but it is a series of characters treated as a single unit. We treat that complete string as a single unit. That means whatever operations we perform on this string, we perform as a whole, not character by character, but as a whole we perform. So that is the reason why we are calling this string as a single unit, treated as a single unit. So strings, in order to represent in our C programming, we have two different ways. One, we can make a string as a fixed length one, and another one, we can make a string as a variable length one. So these two things we discussed in our previous session. Fixed length strings are something where the size will be defined initially. So initially we'll fix the size of that particular string. So like we are going to have only 4 characters, we are going to have only 10 characters. Likewise, we fix the size at the initial stage itself. Before using that string, we are going to fix the size. And we said if we do so, there are problems. Okay, there are problems. Like if you make the size too small, then the string cannot accommodate the big names or big length strings. Like if you are fixing the string length as only 4 characters, let us assume if we are making the string size as only 4 characters, then that string will not accommodate a string, a sequence of characters which are up to 10, 12. Likewise, a name which is up to 10 characters, isn't it? Simply what will happen, the string, it is not capable of holding that 10 character name. That is the problem. We can only fix these small names, we cannot fix the big names or big words, we can say. That is the problem in fixed length strings. And even let us, if we make the string too big, let us say, to avoid this kind of issue, if we make the string size as like 10 character, 100 characters, then what will happen when you are storing this small string, like only 3 character string into that one, then rest of 97 characters memory we are wasting, isn't it? And wastage of memory, it is not an efficient way of coding or efficient way of programming in our programming languages. We should not waste the memory. So the problems associated with this fixed length strings, if we make the string too small, it will not accommodate the big size names or big size words, okay, more character words. If we make the size as too small, then it cannot accommodate the big size words or more character words. And if we make the string size as, to avoid this problem, what we are doing to avoid this, if we make the string size as too big, then another problem. What is that? Wastage of memory. Wastage of memory. So these two problems we have with respect to the fixed length string. So that is the reason why these fixed length strings are not the best way to use in our programming. Because this is a way, this is in this way also we can store. That is the reason why we are discussing, but this is not an efficient way. So that's the reason why we are going for variable length string. In variable length strings, what will happen? The size of the string will vary according to the word, according to the name you are storing. If the name is too small, the string will automatically shrink itself. Okay, the string will automatically shrink the size and give only 3 characters, and if the string size is big, then automatically the string will expand itself and stores that big name into it. So variable length, in the sense, there is no fixed size. According to our input, the string size will vary. So the problems associated with fixed length strings in this slide we discussed. Then how we solved that problems, how we get the solution for that problem using variable length strings, here we discussed. And in variable length strings, as the size is not fixed, okay, in variable length strings also there is a problem. In fixed length strings, we said the size is fixed, so the compiler will come to know where to stop, because if you fix the size as 3 characters, then the compiler automatically knows that it has to read only 3 characters from that particular string. And if you make the fixed length string as like 10 character, if you fix the size as 10 characters, then the compiler will know that after reading 10 characters it has to stop its consideration, or it has to stop its reading process. Like that, there is no issue in case of fixed length strings, as long as reading is concerned. But there are other issues. That's the reason why we are moving towards variable length strings. But in case of variable length strings, the compiler will not know where to stop. So what it will do, when it has started the reading process of a variable length string, if you don't specify where to stop the reading process, it will read the entire memory. It will read other unwanted characters as well. It will read other unwanted characters as well from the main memory, because it doesn't know where to stop. Okay, that's the reason why whenever we are going for variable length strings, we have to specify the end of the string, as you can see over here. Okay, we need to specify the end of the string. Specifying end of the string is very, very important when we are doing this variable length string concept. When we are going for these variable length strings, we need to specify the end of the string. It is very, very important. Okay, and to specify this end of the string, we have two common procedures. Okay, one is length controlled strings and the other one is delimited strings. This is the first approach, length controlled, and the second one is delimited strings. In the length controlled strings, what we are doing, as the first character in your variable length string, as the first character, we are storing the size of the string. We are storing the size of the string as the first character. And in delimited strings, the last character, we are storing a special character that will be treated like a delimiter. That will be treated like a delimiter, and with the help of the delimiter only, the compiler will conclude the reading process. The compiler will stop the reading process. When it reads the delimiter, the compiler automatically, what it will do, it will stop the reading process. So over here we have seen, in length control strings, what we are doing, the first character we are storing the size of the string. So by reading this first character, when the compiler comes over here and when it reads this 6, it assumes that the string is having only 6 characters. The string is having only 6 characters. As you can see, when I have stored this Google into the string, it is having only 6 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So by reading this 6, the compiler will come to know that it has to read up to 6 characters, and after reading 6 characters, what the compiler will do, it will automatically terminate the reading process. It will automatically stop over here, we can say. It will automatically stop over here. After reading E, it will stop over here. If there is no concept of this length control, then what the compiler, because it will not know where to stop. The compiler will not know where to stop. So what it will do, it will keep on read whatever characters we have, because computer memory, it is a continuation thing, isn't it? It is a continuous thing. We are going to have all sequential memory locations in your computer. So after this E also, whatever unwanted character we are going to have over here, let us say it is having A, B, like that, it will read those as well, because those things are not our string, isn't it? Our string is up to G to E. From G to E, it has to read only this Google. It should not read this AB, which are after that E. So that's the reason why we are storing this size, length of the string, as the first character. This is length controlled string. Then in delimited strings, what we are doing, we are storing the last character as the delimiter. The last character as the delimiter, and when the compiler starts reading process, initially it will not know where to stop. Initially, it will not know where to stop, unlike your length controlled strings. So what it will do, it will simply read all the characters from the string. First, it will read G, then O, O, G, L, E, and when it reads this null character, the last character in your string, the null character, it will understand that by reading this null character, it has to stop, because this null character is the delimiter, termination point for this end point for your string. So by reading this delimiter, it will come to know that here it has to stop the string reading process. So in this way, we are separating our string from normal memory, from your computer memory. Hope you understood this length controlled strings as well as delimited strings and the problems associated with fixed length strings. All these things are very, very important. And our C strings, whatever, I mean, we have three different types, isn't it? Fixed length, length controlled, delimited. Three different types we discussed. As you can see over here, first we discussed fixed length and then variable length. In variable length, we said we have two types, length controlled as well as delimited ones. So our C strings, whatever strings we are going to use in our C programming, they are the delimited ones. They are the delimited ones. Delimiter, I mean, we are using the null character as the delimiter over there. The last character we store the null character. Okay, the last character what we store in our string is the null character. So by seeing that null character, the compiler will come to know it has to stop the reading process. So a C string is a variable length array of characters that is delimited by the null character. Okay, a string is stored, I mean, in order to store the string in our computer memory, we declare an array. Okay, because array is a sequence of elements. So here all those elements we make as characters, because in a string we are going to have only characters. So a string is similar to your character array, we can say. It is not completely a character array, but it is similar to a character array. So in this way we can say all strings are character arrays, but not all character arrays are strings. Remember this point. This is very, very important. All strings are character arrays, but not all character arrays are strings. Because when it comes to string, we have a restriction. When it comes to string, we have a restriction that the last character should be a null character. That compulsion is there. If you have inside a character array, if you have the last character as the null character, then it will become a string. So a string, it is a character array with a delimiter, we can say. A string is a character array with a delimiter. So that's the reason why not all character arrays are strings. Because in your character array, you may or may not have the delimiter. Isn't it? In your character array, you may or may not have the delimiter. But inside your string, you must and should to have the delimiter. Let us say, if I'm writing like this, see. I'm writing like this, H, Y, D, E, R, A, B, A, D, Hyderabad. It is a character array. It is having all characters into it, H, Y, D, E, R, A, B, A, D. It is a character array. Okay, like that I'm writing another one, A, P, P, L, E, apple. So this is also a character array. This is also a character array. But I'm writing another one, U, M, B, R, E, L, L, A, umbrella. This is also a character array. But when I put the last character as the delimiter, null character is nothing but backward slash followed by 0. Backward slash followed by 0. This will become your null character. This will become your null character. And when you put this null character as the last character, so that the compiler will come to know here to stop, so then it will become a string. Okay, so now all these are character arrays because they are sequence of characters, and as I said, this null character, it is also a character only. Null character also a character only. So that's the reason why when you are keeping all these characters in sequence, then all these characters will become character arrays. All these character sequences will become character array, but only the last one is the string because it is having the last character as the null character. Over here we don't have the null character, over here we don't have the null character. So how many are character arrays over here? All these are character arrays. All these are character arrays. But how many are strings? Only the last one is string. This is not string, this is not string, and only this last one is the string. That's the reason why I said all, sorry, not all character arrays are strings, but all strings are character arrays. Not all character arrays are strings, but all strings are character arrays. You have to remember this one. Not all strings are, sorry, not all character arrays are strings, but all strings are character arrays. Remember this one. So quickly we go and see what we have in our slides further. So C strings, we said all C strings are the delimited strings. We are going to have the last character as the null character, the delimiter. That's the reason why we said all C strings are delimited strings. A string is stored in an array. The name of the string is a pointer to the beginning of the string. So as I said, in your arrays also we discussed, the name of the array will point the first element inside your array. The name of the array will point, the name of the array is the address of the first element inside your array. So in that same way, because your string is a character array, because your string is also a character array, the string name is going to point the first element. The string name is going to point the first element. So to know this more clearly, I will take the example over here. I will take one simple example over here. So let us say this is my array. This is my array. So first I will make this array as a regular array. So A, P, P, L, E. So this is a normal character array. Why normal character array? Normal array. Why normal array? Because it is not having the last character as the delimiter. So that's the reason why it is a normal character array. Okay, character array. I'm writing that one also over here. Character array. Okay, and moreover we said it is not a string. It is not a string. It is only a character array. So now I will make this character array as a string. So what difference we need to put? What difference we need to put in the sense? We have to put only the last character as the null character. Then what will happen? My character array will become a string. So that I am doing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need another character space to store the, we need another character space to store the null character. So A, P, P, L, E followed by the null character like this. Now it is not a normal array, but it is a string. It is a string. So as we said, in case of normal character array, let us assume the name of this one is ARR. The name of this one is ARR. The identifier what I have given over here, ARR. So now using this ARR, how I can access all the characters over here? So this is my 0th index, first index, second index, third index, fourth index. I told you inside an array, in order to access all the characters, we need to depend on index value. So now in order to access the first element, what I have to write? ARR of 0. In order to access the second element, ARR of 1. In order to access the third element, ARR of 2. In order to access the fourth element, ARR of 4. In order to access the fifth element, like this. In order to access the fourth element, ARR of 3. Like this, we can access all the elements from our array. So this is about arrays, character arrays. Now, being a character array, from this string, let us assume the name of this string is apple itself. I'm giving the name as apple itself because the string content itself become the string name. The string content itself become the string name. Very soon you will understand why it is. The string content itself becomes the string name. Or you can have another name also like this, str. Okay. str, like this. If this str is your string name, then how you can access all the characters? So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, we are having extra characters to store the null character, extra character space to store the null character, because the last character should be a null character inside a string. Now, how we can access the first character? Str of 0, str of 1, str of 2, str of 3, str of 4, str of 5. Like this, you can access all the elements from your string. So as I said, more or the less, many times if you are not giving any identifier to the string, because here I have given the identifier to the string, using that identifier I'm accessing all the elements from the string. Because in many times what we do in our programming means we don't give any specific identifier to our string. So in that case, what will happen? The string name itself become the reference. Okay, the string content itself become the reference. So now in that case, in order to access the first element, that is the 0th element from this string, how I can write? So apple of 0. So many times they will give like this. See, many times they will give in your exams for 2 marks, they will give like this. Scanf, not scanf, sorry. Printf, they will give only one simple statement. Printf of percentile C, then they will give like this. Apple of 0, 1, 2, 3, 3. Apple of 3. Okay, what will be the output of your output of this statement? Justify. What will be the output of this statement? Justify. Like that they will give. So the string name being the string name, apple will become what? Being the string name, apple will become the string itself, string reference itself. So when you are accessing apple, the third character, so this is your 0th, this is your first, second, third, so you will get L on the output. What you will get? You will get capital L on the output. So like this you can justify yourself. Like this you can justify the answer. They will give only for 2 marks. Like this they will give only for 2 marks. If you know the concept, you can easily answer this one. Okay, if you know the concept, I mean, as I said, if you're not giving any specific identifier, in even in case if you are giving the specific identifier, if it is a string, if apple is a string, then if apple is a string, the string name itself become the string content itself become the reference to the first element, and using the index you can access all the characters from that string. Hopefully you understood. Okay, it is somewhat like advanced concept, but being a CSC student you need to understand all these things. Okay, string name or string content itself become the reference to the string, itself become the reference to the first element of the string. So now if the string name is the reference to the first element, using index you can access all the elements from the string. So delimited strings, we said, yeah, there is a big difference between storing a character into the memory location and storing a string into the memory location and storing an empty string into the memory locations. How means, see here, we are storing a normal character. Here you can understand that one. Character H. A normal character we are storing into the computer memory. So it will consume only one memory location. It will consume only one memory location. And when you store string H, see, normal character we will give single quotes. Normal character means single quotes, single quotations. Okay, but if it is a string, we need to give double quotes, as you can see over here. Double. Normal character means they require only single quotations, but if it is a string means it requires double quotations. So that makes the difference over here. If it is a normal character, it will consume only one byte of memory. Okay, if it is a normal character, it will consume only 1 byte of memory because it requires only one character to store. Okay, but if it is a string, along with the character we have to store the delimiter as well to indicate the end of the string. But if it is a string, to store the normal character also we require 2 characters because we need to indicate the end of the string. So over here we need 2 characters, one for the actual character to store and one for the null character to indicate the end of the string. So likewise, string with only one character consumes 2 bytes of memory. Okay, character with only one character, we can store only one character only inside a character. We can store only one character. So it will consume only 1 byte of memory. But if it is being a string, in order to store even a single character, you need 2 bytes of memory. One for the actual character and one for the delimiter. But even if you are storing an empty string means no characters at all into that. In that case also you need to store the null character. To indicate the emptiness of the string, we need to store a null character. So even if your string is an empty string, it will consume 1 byte of memory. To store an empty string in memory also requires one memory location. Okay, to store an empty string, read this last point. To store an empty string in memory also requires one memory location. Understand this. This is very, very important, because here from this concept also they may frame a 2 marks question. They may frame a 2 marks question. It is also a very valid point. Normal character, single characters to store, we need only 1 byte of memory. String, even if it is having only one character to store, we need 2 bytes of memory, because one for the actual character and one for to store the null character. And empty string, in order to indicate the emptiness of the string also, we require one character space, 1 byte of memory, that is to store the null character, simply to show the emptiness of the string. Okay, remember these 3 scenarios. Okay, every slide is going to be a new concept for you people over here. As many slides we are having, that many new concepts we are going to have. String constants, as I said, in order to represent a string literal string constant, what we have to do, we have to use the double quotations. We have to use the double quotes. As you can read the first point, a string literal or a string constant is a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes. That's the only difference between a string character constant and a string constant. In character constant we are using only single strings likewise, but in a string constants we use double quotations likewise. It is a character constant and it is a string constants. Okay, it requires only 1 byte of memory, it requires 2 bytes of memory. Okay, one for actual character, one for to store the null character. When string constants are used in C program, C automatically creates an array of characters. You no need to do any specific memory allocation or something. When you are using double quotations to create a string inside your program, C automatically creates the array and stores those characters into your program. Stores those characters into your program's memory. Remember this one. Whenever we are creating a string, okay, simply what we have to do, use the double quotations and enclose all characters into that string. Whatever characters you want to put inside a string, simply enclose those characters between double quotations. So C program automatically creates the character array, and stores all those characters into that, and last character it will automatically makes as null character. So let us assume what I am doing now, I am making like this. Just understand this. In my program, I am using double quotations followed by Hyderabad, Hyderabad. Like this, I am storing. This is my string literal. This is my string literal that I am using in my program. String constant that I am using in my program. So what the program will do for this particular string to store, in the sense, it will allocate the memory. It will allocate the memory. How many characters we have in that one? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 characters. So to store this 9 character string, how many characters, how many character locations, how many memory locations we need inside your computer? In the sense, to store this 9 character string we need 10 characters, one extra for storing the delimiter, last null character. So here H Y D E R A B A D, and the last character, it is going to be the null character likewise. So only like this you have to do in your program. You no need to bother about the size, you no need to bother about the delimiter, all these things. Simply whatever string you want to store into your program, do like this. Store it like this. And moreover, we said all strings are character arrays. See, there is no specific type to declare a string in our program. We have to use a character array only. There is no specific type to declare a string into our program. We have to use character array only. Okay, like this you do. Character followed by don't specify the size. Don't specify the size as we are initializing the string here itself. So character followed by like this, then give any identifier str equals to. That's it. We are not specifying any size over here. So by default, whatever characters you are allocating, +1 will become the size of that string. +1 will become the size of that string. So here, how many characters we used in this particular string? 9 characters. So automatically what it is doing, it is giving 10 10 memory locations into your computer memory, and it is storing that Hyderabad like this, HYDERABAD. Last character will be the null character. And how we are declaring, giving the name like this, we are giving the name. How we are specifying the type, the string type should be like this, remember. And when you are giving, when you are not specifying the size, there only you have to initialize the string. Doing like this is an error. If you try to do like this and you think that I will initialize string afterwards, okay, in case of normal variables, how we are doing, one time we are declaring the variable, defining the variable, and some other time we are assigning the value. Doing like this in case of normal variables is absolutely correct. Okay, in one shot we are doing declaration and definition, in another shot we are doing the initialization. Doing in case of a normal variable, it is absolutely correct. But in case of a string, as we are not specifying the size over here, because when it is creating this string, it has to know how many characters it has to allocate for this str. That we are not doing over here. We are not specifying the size. So at that time, what you have to do, if you are not specifying the size, there only you have to do the initialization. Okay, when we do more programs on these strings, there you will understand. Okay, leaving the string declared and defined and not initialized is an error. Leaving the string declared and defined and not initialized is an error. Like this you can't do. Where you are declaring, defining, at that time only you have to do the initialization as well. So this is declaration, definition, initialization. Remember this one. This is also one of the important and valid point. And many people ask me what to write in the running notes. All these things you can put in the running notes, because all these things I'm not doing in your what we call PPTs. Okay, this is just the verbal explanation. This is what you have to write in your normal running notes. Hope you understood all these concepts. It is very important concepts. Okay. So here these two are including the spaces, whatever spaces we are giving, including the spaces, they are all strings. This is a string, this is also string. Over here, how many characters? One. Space is also a character. Remember this one. Space is what space in between C and I we have, that space is also a character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, again space, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and the last character delimiter, 28. How many characters we need in order to store this string? In the sense, 28 characters. For storing this, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So including delimiter, we need 12 characters to store this particular string into computer memory. So in this way, string constants are dealt inside your C programs. Hopefully you understood. So go to the next slide. Yeah. A string literal is stored in memory like any other object. It has an address and it can be referred by using a pointer. Here the string literal, as it is just now I told you, string literal, if it is not having any identifier, the string content will become the string reference. So like this I have shown now. Apple, to access the third character, what we have done, third character in the fourth character, this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3. So apple of 3 will give you L, we said, isn't it? Apple of 3 will give you L character. So that statement only I have given. Like this, hello of 1, it will give A, because this is 0, this is 1. All array indexes will start from 0 and ends at maximum size minus 1. So over here, first character we are accessing, and that first character is nothing but this E, this particular E. So if you are printing like this, printf, do it, do it when you go to the lab or in your decoder app. Do like this and check what output you are getting. Percentile C, comma, if you are printing hello of 1, then what you will get? Hello of 1, in the sense, what you will get? You will get the first character location. So this is 0th, this is first. Likewise, this character you will get on your output screen. On your output screen, you will get E. Likewise. So suppose hello of 3 if you are printing. Hello of 3 you are printing. Then what you will get? Hello of 3. Hello of 3 means, again, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. L you will get. On your output, L you will get. So quickly shall we see this one? Quickly we'll go to this and we'll understand this more clearly, because it is an important point. Okay, so I will simply write that program in short terms. stdio.h, then int main of void, then here you write that one simply printf, okay, percentile C. Characters we are dealing, isn't it? So conversion code should be percentile C. And now take that string. What is that? Hello. Hello of, we are printing, let us say 3. Hello of 3, we said we need to get L, isn't it? Because this is 0, isn't it? Hello of 0 will be this one. Hello of 1 will be this one, E. Hello of 2 will be L. Hello of 3 will be L. Hello of 4 will be O. Likewise, you will get. So quickly, I'm printing that one. So give some name, as we are practicing strings. Okay, string exp, string example.c. Now compile the program and see any errors. No errors. So go and see the output. Hello of 3, as you can see, it is not 1, it is L. Okay, I mean, line by line shall we print all the characters separated from this string. We start from 0. So just to have the difference, just to know the difference, I mean, what represents what. So hello of 1 will give you, okay, so then hello of 2. So far you see what you got on your output screen. So far you see HEL you will get. Compile, compilation successful. Then run, see HEL with spaces, because we have given over here, we have given spaces. HEL we are getting. So print more 3 and the last character 4. Okay, we'll print the 5th character and we see what we have over there also. Okay, so it will, null character, it cannot be printed, simply it will give a space over there. Okay, hello we got so far. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that we got. So now I'm printing the 5th character. It will not print anything over there, it will just print the space. 5th character, we'll see what it will print in your, I think it will print null. We'll see what it will print. Okay, compile, compilation successful, and run. Okay, it is not printing anything. Here it is not printing anything. Null character it is printing. So if you print all these things line by line, there you will understand, I guess. Null character, it can't be printed, as we discussed. It is an escape sequence, and we said escape sequences we cannot print on the output screen. It is going, they are going to have some special formation, character formation in your C program, but we cannot print them on the output screen. See here, we got here some extra space, one character space extra we got, and that one character is nothing but your null character. So HELLO, line by line we are printing. Backslash n we have taken, and line by line we are printing. Hope you understood this one. So in this way we can access all the characters from hello. Okay, so let me just see how much time it is elapsed. almost 40 minutes. So still we have more time because we need to discuss some more points over here. So this is something about accessing string literals, maintaining string literals in our program. Okay. So then we have declaring and defining the strings. As we said, strings where they are declared and defined, there itself they need to be initialized if you are making them as variable length strings. You can use the fixed length strings likewise. See here, we are doing declaration and definition in our program, and we are specifying the size also. 9. When you are specifying 9, this will become a fixed length string. What it will become? It will become a fixed length string, because we are making the size as fixed length. So if you store in this, how many characters you can store? 9 it is saying, only 8 characters. The words up to 8 characters only you can store. If the word size is more than 8 characters, you can't. It will simply, what will happen? Only the first 8 characters from the word it will consider. So over here you take this programming, it is a word. How many words we have over here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. How many? 11 we have. 11 characters we have in this particular word programming. Can I store this programming into this str of 9? Means no. Even if I store this programming into str of 9, what will happen? It will consider only the first 8 characters. First 8 characters. Because we need the last character, the ninth, the index value 8. The ninth character, index value 8 character, to store the delimiter. To store the delimiter. So that's the reason why we have to, if you make the size too small, we cannot accommodate the big size words, and if you make the size too big, we are wasting the memory. Let us say if I'm taking the string size like this, okay, character str of 100 if I'm taking, then what will happen? Only 11 characters. As we said, 11 means 11 plus 1. 8 up to here, 9 10 11. 11 means 11 plus 1. How many characters I need? 12 characters only I need to store this string. So from these 100 characters, I'm using only 12 characters, and rest of these 88 characters, what I'm doing, I'm wasting. The rest of 88 characters, they are useless in this particular string. They are useless. So that's the reason why don't go for fixed length strings unless you are doing some practicing, unless you are doing some research. If it is an application development, app development, or something you are doing where you are going to give that app for general purpose or public domain, then what will happen? Ultimately, if more number of people will start using your app, means your system will crash, because the system will run out of the memory. The system will run out of the memory because you are wasting a lot of memory by declaring a string, fixed length string like this. You are wasting a lot of memory. So what will happen? Ultimately, after some point, your system, there is a possibility that your system will crash. So avoid this one as much as possible. Avoid this one. So always try for a solution in variable length strings only. Hopefully you understood. So declaration and definition we have seen. Yeah, you can even declare a string pointer. About this pointers concept we discuss in our 4th unit. Okay, we can even declare a string pointer to store the first location, because whatever string we are declaring, the string name will point only to the first character, isn't it? The string name will point only to the first character, and it is not going to point the rest of the characters. So that's the reason you can even declare a character string or character pointer to point a string. A character pointer can also be used to hold strings of variable length in a program, because the name of the string or the string itself is a reference to the string memory location. So doing like this is absolutely fine. Character string, as we have taken over here, pstr pointer string, pstr equals to apple, apple, apple. So now what will happen? This pstr will point the first character, that is a, the first character. So if you print like this, pstr of 0, you will get a, pstr of 1, you will get p, 2, you will get p, 3, you will get l, 4, you will get e. Likewise, pstr also you can use in place of apple. All these are very, very, very important concepts. If you're not understanding, watch my video again and again. Okay, because repeating the same concept multiple times in the video, it is waste of time, isn't it? As you have the recording, you can go back and you can rewatch that one. If you're not understanding, just go back, because in one shot you will not understand all these things. Definitely you have to watch multiple times. Okay, so initializing a string you can do in this way. If it is a fixed length string, you can do in this way. Or initializing when the size is fixed, defining at one point and initializing at another point, it is purely possible. You can do in that way. If it is a fixed length string, you can do the declaration like this: character str of 9 and initialization at some other location, str of 9 equals to good day. Doing like this, it is absolutely fine. Doing like this, it is absolutely fine. But over here again there is an issue, because str of 9 will represent only one character. Okay, str of 9 will represent only one character, and you're trying to push all this into that one character location. So doing so, according to me, is an error. So try like this: remove this and only str you put. Str is equals to good day, like this you put. Doing like this, it is absolutely fine. And declaration, definition and initialization, in case the size is skipped, in case the size is skipped, as you can see over here, we have not specified any size. So three things you have to do in one shot: declaration, definition and initialization. Three things you have to do in one single statement only. Okay, so the next thing, yeah, doing like this also possible. Individual characters and the last character you make it as a delimiter. Doing like this also, it is absolutely fine. Okay, or you can do like this also by using a character pointer, by using a character. Just now I have shown you this one. PSTR is equals to Apple I have shown, but over here they have stored good day. Like this also you can do. Okay, how many different types of initializations? Initializing with fixed size, initializing with variable size. This is the first approach. Initializing with fixed size. This is the second approach. Initializing with variable size, because the size is not fixed, as you can see over here. Initializing with variable size. The third approach, initializing individual characters to an character array, but make the last character as delimiter. Otherwise, it will become a normal character array but not a string. Doing like this also, it is possible. Then initializing to a character pointer. This is also a valid thing. This is a third thing, and this is a fourth thing. All these things we will discuss. See, making a string, if you make a character array as a string, you can use this percentile SR, you can use this gets and puts methods. Gets and puts method. This gets method, gets function and puts function. Functions gets and puts are two string functions. Gets is used to input a string and puts is used to output a string. Gets is used to input a string and puts is used to output a string. And gets, puts, these two can be used only with fixed length. Can be used only with fixed length, because we said if the string is variable length, you have to do the initialization there itself. Puts, of course, to some extent you can use with variable length, but gets you can't. Gets you can't, because gets, in order to read the string we are making use, but for variable lengths we have to do the initialization in the program itself. So that's the reason why this gets you can't use with variable length strings. You can use, but as long as the size is fixed, you cannot vary the size. Okay, but in case of puts, what will happen? You can use this puts with both variable length as well as fixed length strings. Here you can see, to avoid all the confusions of variable length and fixed length, because you people, for you to understand all these advanced level concepts, it is too early. So what I have done means, whatever programs we do, of course we store delimiter at the end just to indicate the end point, but we make our strings as fixed length only. We give some 30, 40, likewise the size, and we do our programming practice. We do our programming practice. So simply remember, whatever string size we are giving, it is not to make the string as fixed length, just to have a proper indication, because our C compiler, it requires the fixed memory when it is creating a string. It requires the fixed memory when it is creating the string. And if you try to ignore that, if you try to omit that size, simply it will give error over there. I will show you that one. Okay, just have the practice over here. So all those concepts, whatever I said just now, one by one we will see. See, I said, yeah, this is our structure of C program. This is our structure of the C program. So here what I am doing, I am declaring a string character of str equals to, we said like this. This is one approach to good space day. This is one approach to declare a string. Now, how we can print this string? Printf, okay, percentile s we have to use. For a string, we have to use the conversion code percentile s, then str. Don't use ampersand over here because str itself is the address. Don't use ampersand. So like this. Doing like this, it is absolutely fine. Just compile it. Yeah, it is giving error over here. It is saying unexpected token before expected identifier. Okay, here you put this one because many compilers will act differently. Yeah, now it is giving absolutely fine, no issues. So this str here, I guess I kept after the, yeah, when you are practicing, where I have given like that. Okay, nowhere. Yeah, here also I have given after str only. Absolutely fine. Okay, it was my mistake only. So like this. So just save it. Now you see the output. You will get this good day on output screen. See, run it. See, good day it is printing. Why it is taking the first space means because here I have given the first space. That's the reason why it is taking first space. So good day. Like this is the initializing without size, and we are doing the initialization here itself. We'll do like this because how many characters we need now? uh, 1 2 3 4 space 5 6 7 8 8 characters, including the delimiter we need 9 characters. We try like this. Okay, then str, simply just see how it will act. Just see. Yeah, it is giving an error. See, it is uh, behaving like an pointer array type, and here we are assigning a pointer to it. It is an array type and we are assigning a pointer to it. So that's the reason why it is giving issue. So what we do is, here you put like this and check and %str. Yeah, again it is giving issue. So L value is required. So it is not converting basically. So doing like this is also an error. So basically for a string, wherever you are doing the initialization, there only you have to do the, yeah, there only you have, wherever you are doing the declaration and definition, there only you have to do the initialization for a string, even if it is fixed length or variable length. Okay, making a string fixed length, it is meaningless over here. So just in case if you are reading from the keyboard, at that point you have to do the initialization. Like this it is accepting. With size also it will accept. Size if I give 9, because this dev C++, it is an advanced compiler, so it will give more, it is more sensitive, we can say. It will give more number of errors. It will, the code should be so much robust in order to execute it. Okay, so if I put like this, so let us say only 3 characters I am keeping. So now what will happen, we check. Just compile it. Yeah, it is giving, see here, warning it is giving. Okay, we'll see, by executing we will see. Run C, only 3 characters it is printing. GOO. It is on printing only 3 characters. So likewise. Okay, hopefully you understood the importance of variable and fixed length strings. You can even do the initialization like a character. Okay, so here G is one character, comma, O is another character, comma, O is another character, comma, D is another character, comma, space is another character, space is another character, comma, D is another character, comma, A is another character, comma, Y is the last character. Okay, So after even storing the last character, what we have to do? We need to make the last character as delimiter. Store the delimiter over here like this. Now you close that set, okay, curly bracket. So now all these characters, again the same meaning. It will be stored, I mean sequence of characters with delimiter, so it will be stored like a string only, so we can expect the same output. No issues. See, good day it is reading as it is. I mean how we want it to be stored, in that same way it is storing. Okay, so like this also you can do, or you can even declare a character pointer pstr, and initialize. It is a character pointer, so now you can initialize, yes, pstr is equals to good day, like this you can do. Now it is a character pointer, so it can hold the address of the first memory location. Compile. Yeah, again it is giving error. str, no, pstr, not str, pstr we are printing. Okay, no issues. Run. Good day you got. So in this way you can declare a character pointer and you can make the address of first location to store in that character pointer. Hope you understood this one. So initialization, input output functions, puts and gets also we have to discuss. So instead of all these, I will simply make over here, instead of all these, make a comment over here. Okay, so simply you can use the puts function, because it is a string. Puts pstr, like this you can do, puts pstr, so it will print that pstr on the output screen. As you can see, just puts function, same thing, it is doing like a what we call, it is doing like a printf percentile s puts. Printf percentile s similar to puts. So I mean when you have the character pointer for the string, you can even read gets of pstr. Okay, just to terminate the string you have to hit the enter key to terminate the string. So what it will do in the output means it will wait for the input. It will wait for the input. See, it will wait. Here it is waiting. So now whatever I am going to input and press the enter key, the same thing it will print. It is not printing. Maybe some issue. It is not adding the delimiter, it seems. It is not adding the delimiter. That's the reason why you are not getting. Okay. So you check this same program in Turbo C, it will work. So that's why I said your Dave CPP, it is more sophisticated, it is more sensitive. Even a minor issue it will not accept. But if you check this same gets and puts into your Turbo C, it will work. Okay, so this is how we can read and we can write the outputs. We can read and we can write the outputs in strings, in terms of strings, just by making use of puts and gets method. Here he is saying to make the size as fixed and try this gets and puts. So pstr of 30, okay, pstr of 30, and then you see how it will react. Compilation, okay, then run. Okay, now you type, yeah, we are getting now. Just make the size as fixed and then you can expect the output gets. So here printf, enter your name. Okay, it will ask you to enter. You can even use puts here also, because when you are using double quotes, see from here to here, whatever message I am printing, when you are using double quotes, it is also a string only, isn't it? This entire message, it is also a string only. So in order to print this message on the output screen, you can even use puts of this entire thing. So now gets, read it into that, and again one more puts, you entered this name. One more puts pstr. Okay, now simply save it, compile it. What error it is giving? Expected semicolon. Here I forgot the semicolon. Put the semicolon, save it, compile it. Compilation successful. Go and run. Execute. So now it is asking me to enter my name. So I am entering my name as Muhammad. Enter. See, you entered Muhammad. Like that it is giving. Hopefully you understood. So this string concept, it is very, very important, I am telling you. Okay, so this is it. about strings input output. So then string assignment operator. See, if you have two strings like your normal variables, you cannot use the assignment operator between the strings, because as we said, string name indicates the address of the first memory location, and if you take the string name in the left hand side over here, what it will represent? It will represent the address. So taking L value, taking a constant, address is nothing but it is a constant. Taking a constant as an L value to the left side value to the assignment operator, it is an error. Taking a constant here, both the things are constants. This is also constant and this is also address. S of 2 is also address. String of 2 is also an address. So it is also a constant. So we cannot take two constants on either side of a assignment operator. This is something like 20 equals to 40. Is it a valid statement? 20 equals to 40, because it is also a constant. It is also a constant. This 40 is also a constant. So taking constants on either side of the assignment operator is an error. So the same error, compilation error, you will get, because we said string name here str1 of 6 equals to hello we are saying, and str2 of 6 we are making it as undeclared, and you are expecting this hello to be copied over here by writing like this. str1 equals to str2. What you are expecting? The same content inside str. Yeah, here this str2 should come first and then str1. So by writing like this, what we are expecting, whatever content I stored in this str1, that is hello, okay, I want in str2, okay, from here to here, I'm expecting that one, but it will not come. The reason is because both the things, str1 as well as str2, they represents the constants. They represents the first memory location's address. First memory location's address. As these two are constants, we cannot use these constants on either side of the assignment operator. On either side of the assignment operator, like this. Okay, so doing like this is an error. 20 equals to 40. You are trying to store 40 into this 20. Is it possible? Because they are universal constants, you cannot change. Okay, you cannot change their values. Okay, that's the reason why you will get a compile time error. You will get a compile time error. Remember this one. Strings and the assignment operator, it is also a 2 marks question. Many times they frame the question from this one, 2 marks question. Okay, the string is an array and the name of the string is a pointer constant. This is very, very important. Pointer constant. Okay, as a pointer constant, it should always be used as R value, not as L value. R value stands for right hand side value and L value stands for left hand side value. So being a character constant or being an address constant, being a pointer constant, you cannot use the string name as an L value. But over here what we have done, over here we are using the string constant as an L value. This is L value, left hand value. So doing so is an error. Remember this one, we cannot use not as L value. We cannot use the string constant name as an L value. See, in our next session, in one more session, I am going to wind up this second unit. It is almost like more than 1 hour. So in one more class, I am going to wind up this second unit, and this last concept, string manipulation functions. It is a 7 marks LAQ. It is an important question. It is an 7 marks LAQ. Many times they have given this LAQ for full marks, whatever maximum marks you have for LAQ in your external exam, for full marks they have given. So generally, without this pandemic, we used to get all LAQs for 10 marks. But now, as the pandemic is there, they are framing LAQs for 15 marks because they are giving more choices. They are framing LAQs for 15 marks. So see the weightage of this particular concept, string manipulation functions, in your external exams. If they ask this question, you will easily get 15 marks if you narrate it nicely. Okay, so these are nothing. We are not going to write any code for these functions. We simply remember the name of those functions and syntax of those functions, like your printf and scanf. These string manipulation functions, they are also predefined functions. String manipulation functions are predefined functions. Okay, we also call them as library functions, and they are available under the library file, header file. Some are available under string.h and some are available under ctype.h. Okay. In this particular concept, we are going to use two library files. One is string.h and another one is ctype.h. Basically, for now, up to now, we discussed what is a string, how to declare a string, how to define a string, all these things we discussed. Now we discuss how to manipulate a string. How to manipulate a string. So that manipulation, because it is not a regular type of value. Your string, it is not like numerical value or character value to manipulate it with operators. So to manipulate, I mean, normal integer values or float values, double values, boolean values, we have operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication. We are using them to manipulate the normal data elements. But being a specialized data element, your string, it cannot be manipulated with all those normal operators. So we need special functions. We need special predefined functions to manipulate the strings. Those special predefined functions are nothing but your string manipulation functions. And here we are going to make use of all these string manipulation functions, like string length is one, string cat, string copy, string comparison, and string reverse. This thing will not discuss. And finally the string reverse. So how many? Total 5 functions we will discuss. The name itself suggests what this function will do. String length, to find out the length of the string, how many characters you have. String cat, to concatenate. Okay, concatenation, joining strings together. Concatenation is nothing but joining strings together. Concatenate, string cat. String copy, copying one string into another. String comparison, comparing two strings. String reverse, reversing the given string. All these functions, predefined functions, we study, and we all these 5 functions, they are under string.h library file. They are under string.h library files. To use all these functions, we have to include this string.h library file into our program. Okay, we have another 2 functions like toUpper and toLower and toAscII. We have another toAscII function also. toUpper, toLower, and toAscII. All these 3 functions are part of your ctypes.h. We have to include the ctypes.h when you are using toUpper, toLower, and toAscII. To convert the lowercase letters into uppercase letters of your string, we use toUpper. To convert the uppercase letter into lowercase letters of your string, we use toLower. To convert the complete string into ASCII, or it is a character, basically it is a character function, toAscII. To know the ASCII value of the given character, we use this toAscII function. Okay, so all these functions we discuss in our further class. Okay, one by one, every function, we have to know the purpose of using that function, we have to know the syntax, and along with the program. All these functions we discuss in our upcoming session, and with that we conclude your second unit. Hopefully you understood. Thank you very much, students.